Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday again. My name is Latisha Jones, and this is Tea Talks. I pray everyone had a blessed and abundant week. Mine was great as well. God is always working, and as long as He's always working, we have nothing to worry about, right? Um, so today, um, a lot of things has happened. I want to talk about the different elements of power. Um, I want to talk about um, the fact that we have power in our hands and what do we choose to do with it. And I'm gonna start off with something that happened to me, um, you know, this week, and it's something simple. Every day we all have social media. We all scroll through social media from time to time, and I was actually on Facebook, and I seen a post. A lot of people put a lot of stuff out there nowadays just to get likes, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer, if I'm gonna do something that the world is going, if it's going to go viral, I would rather it be something prosperous. So long story short, the status said, and it's a disturbing status. The status said, God said, God, I am not one of your strongest. Leave me alone before I kill myself. And then he had the little laughing emojis behind it. Um, of course, at first, um, me from a heart, people really do go through things like that. Um, and I wanted to take it seriously with him, which I still did take it seriously. But come to find out, he was doing it for likes, and you got people in the comments, and uh they're laughing and they're agreeing. Yeah, God, I'm not one of your strongest, and oh, I felt this post, and this guy just went viral, right? Now we're talking about elements of power, so even though he was joking, uh you had the power to put something out to the world in a joking manner to grab attention. Um, and my line of life, I'm always going to preach. If we have the power to do good, because the power is in our hands, spirituality, God gave them to us. He gave us power of fear, power of understanding, power of wisdom, even power of fear. Um, because sometimes power we can get confused with it. We can forget our place. We can, um, get the big head. Okay, so the post disturbed me, not because it wasn't, I guess, important, but to me it was important to me because I felt for people that really go through this. So of course, me, I'm not going to tell you everything I went in, but I was a little upset about it. So I reached out to the guy, and I'm just like, I understand, you did this for likes. There's actually people out here that this is a serious matter with, and you went viral, and I just feel like you, as a young Black male, if you have that much power to, grab a crowd with something such as a joke, with a statement of something that is so serious, let's spread positivity instead. Of course, things got, a little out of hand, but it ended good, because I always tell people this too, that this is the power of God, because even though it ended in chaos to try to get him to understand what I was saying, it still ended well. And that's how God works. That's the power of God. That's how he works. We'll think something is looking like it's not going to go as planned or it's supposed to be. And if you guys know me, I try to always talk about good, do good, because you get good from good. You don't get good from bad, and you don't get bad from good. It's impossible. It can look like, if I do something good, when bad come, oh, what is this? I do something bad expecting something good, and it looks like, you got good. No, it doesn't last long that way. You're only going to get good from good. So um, with it looking like I was attacking him, I really was just trying to share with him, you have the power. You're a young black male. We're out here in this world, and let's think about all the things that's going on, in the world, that they're attacking our black fellow males. Um, and it's only because our black males are powerful, as one. So I just wanted to encourage him. So um, that's where it came from, power. If we have, if we know that we have the power of wisdom, number one, and understanding and fear, I'm gonna just use those three for right now. That's enough to. Wisdom is being wise. Um, Understanding, we're not supposed to lean on our own understanding. So if we lean to God, we're going to get the perfect understanding. And the fear come in of, if I don't do this right, then I should have the rod put on me, which only person can give us the rod is God. That's the only person I want it from. So I just want to talk today about different elements of power. Have you guys ever been in a situation? Because it's okay to make mistakes, in life. It's just, I always got this saying, people apologize a lot. And I always have this saying, an apology without change to me is pure manipulation. So a person of so many mistakes in life, and being covered by grace and mercy, I changed because I wanted better. So I just always tell people that's where the fear of God come in at. So we need that power of fear. So I just want to talk today. Have we, because we've all been in a situation to where we got, we can set the tone for the situation. We got the power, because all power is in our hands. God gave us the power anyway, right? All power is in our hands. And what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with it? Call in, let's talk, and let's be truthful. Let's be honest. I want to know, have you been in a situation of power, even if it's over your own household, over the workplace, and your regular day-to-day life? Um, let's talk. Because I know right now, one of my biggest power is my kids, right? I don't always do the right thing. But who is perfect? I remember times to where God have given me the lines are open, you guys. 678-381-1973, 678, I'm sorry, 381-1973. Let's call in and just talk about you being in a situation of having the power to, whether it was to change the situation, change the atmosphere of the situation. Sometimes we could be put in a situation of power to be silent. People think, oh, that ain't no power. I know we all have heard, being silence is the loudest form of conversation. You know, and sometimes we take that away from ourselves. Let's call in today. Let's talk. We're talking about different elements of power in life, how you were able to handle situations. 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. We have power over our own life, you guys. And um if we don't if we if we don't understand it, if we don't understand the power that we have within ourselves, that the power that God gave us through the Holy Spirit, then we will be lost, we have to dig deep into that power, because let's think about it. I'm gonna use something, an everyday thing. You have people on the job, that's managers, that's bosses, and that's power. We as employees, we're under them. We can have a different title, a different role. And I think about the economy now, how every, because they got a lot of controversy going on now about how people are not going to work, or there's jobs out there people don't want to work. And honestly, talking about that topic, it comes from power. And I'm going to give you a description of how power can be abused to where now it's affecting the world. Because I'm pretty sure we all remember working the job, knowing somebody had power over me, but because they was my supervisor, they treated me like crap. Not even just me. I watched, this go on. It could be other people. And the only thing I could do is, put it in God's hand. These employees, you come and you work so hard, and they just use their power in a different realm, to the point now where with COVID-19, people is having a big controversy about, well, we don't want to go to work. For whatever reason, they felt unvalued. Now they're trying to offer up so much money. See, that's a leverage of power. They're trying to offer up so much money now to wiggle people back in. But has the original situation been taken care of as to why people don't want to go to work nowadays? Because the people that they're working for don't see value. They use their power, and they don't see value. They don't value the people, and they just take their power and just do what they want to do. And now this is the consequence, right? Let's think about power over our own children. I mean, just because I'm a mother of my children and I have the power, because they're at a small age, you got to do what I say. Whatever I say, you must do. If you don't, it's a level of disrespect. See, that's power. But let me tell you something about power over situation over your kids. You guys, we're just talking about different elements of power. The lines is open 678-381-1973. And with power, elements of power covers everything. Okay, different positions, different titles in your life, different places that you're in your life. So call in and let's just have a discussion. So, like as I was saying, my children. So I have power over my children. We have power over our kids because we say what we birth them. You have age. I still have to feed you. I still have to cook for you. You're gonna do what I say, when I say it, how I say it. But in all honesty, in parenting with that power, children have their own, voice of opinion too. Now, how it's said, that's where you have the power to guide your children into. I understand you have XYZ, but you have the power to also let them be who they are, but put it on a respectable platform. It's all about power today, guys. It's not pointing at one situation. It's all about power. So like I say, I think about my children when I get ready to guide them, because I've been in that position. I've had situations in the beginning, I dealt with things with battling, raising a child from two parents not in the same home. I remember times being bitter over a situation, and because I had the power to keep this child in my home, I got the power to do it. You know what? Things not going the way I want them to go. Mind you, that's me leaning on my own understanding. I have the power to over this situation. This is my child. I have the power to do what I want to do. So I'm just going to my child's not going there. Before God shook me, right? Because see, power have us thinking we're right. Power have us thinking just because we have the authority to do something that is right. No, just because we have the authority to do it, it doesn't mean it's always right, right? People get position of power confused. That's why it comes back to spirituality. Um, you have to have power of wisdom and understanding, and you have to fear. Now, there is uh spiritual seven spirits of power. You know, spirituality. We have wisdom, understanding, counsel, might, of knowledge, of fear, and to go on. But I keep repeating these three: the wisdom, the understanding, and the fear. Those sets of power is really enough, and might too, because you have to know that you have the might. Because, like I said, you may be put in a situation of power to where you don't have to speak. You're not meant to speak. You're meant there to be silent. That is your power. Some people don't have the might and the willpower to sit there and understand that, okay, I could be in a situation right now to where I don't have to say nothing. That's my role. And by not saying nothing, that's power, because I'm still going to be heard. People are so afraid now when it's time to be silent. They're afraid to just be silent. Think about it. God says in his words, peace, be still. It's okay to be silent. It's okay to be still. That's where peace come in at. Um, that's where peace come in at. But that's still a form of power, quietness, being humble, accepting it, being okay with it. Um, let's see what we covered. Power being abused on the job, power being abused as a parent. Um, so let's move on. Let's talk about on a regular day basis. You're out. You're shopping. Um, you have so many encounters with people. Guys, the lines is open: 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. We're talking about power today, how power can be used and semi-abused. Because we have to be honest here. You think power as a good thing, but power can also be used in a bad way too if you are not wise and you don't understand. So let's call and let's talk. We're talking about power in all different areas and aspects. 678-381-1973. So as I was saying, um, you're in a grocery store, you're out in the world now. You have all these encounters with people. Um, you run into a situation that you can help, right? Now, mind you, I don't want anybody to, put themselves in a situation that they are putting a big strain on themselves, because even God don't want that. I mean, he's not going to put more on us than we can bear. But you out in the public encountering people, and a situation come across, and you have the opportunity, um, to help, to serve someone, right? Um, and you think, oh, that either that's not my place, or I don't want to use my power for that, because God also give us the power to help one another, right? To help others. So today I want to pick and choose when and how I want to use my power. Something simple as holding the door open. You see someone coming, you're in a rush, someone's coming behind you, and because you're in a rush, I'm not, either you have a choice. You can sit there and be pleasant and hold the door for that person, or you can just move on with your life selfishly and go on. That's a form of power. You had the power to be pleasant to someone, you had the power to be sweet, but you chose to focus on self. Well, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I'm not gonna hold the door. They moving too slow. And actually, talking about this guy that's convicted me, I did something as such. Because I got this thing, I got this thing, and it's like I feel like I got the power to open my mouth. If someone is in my way, I got the power to open my mouth and tell this person, look, you in my way, you moving too slow. Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just watch out. So I could be shopping. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm getting better now, but I could be shopping, and because I'm so focused on what I need to do and what I come in the store to get, we all know how the grocery stores can be. We all know how Walmart can be. It's a store to where people come in there and they have to sightsee to see what they want to get, right? It's a must. It's a grocery store. They come in here to shop. Everybody ain't coming here to be in a rush like UT. Everybody they ain't coming here like, oh, I don't want to be in Walmart. But me, because I felt like I have the power to, if someone in my way, I'm scrolling through Walmart and somebody in my way, I don't want to wait. Well, that's what I used to think. I want to wait now. But I didn't want to wait. Excuse me. I can clear as day see them sitting here taking their time. They're pasting. They're looking at something. They're trying to figure out what they're going to get. Who knows? They could be comparing prices. They don't, they're on a budget, or just because I got money, I don't want to overspend my money, whatever their reason is. But guess what? They're in my way now. But I'm aggravated, right? But because I got the power to either I can sit there and wait and be patient and talk to God and ask God to give me the patience to respect these people, because if it was me, I would want the same thing done. Or because I have the power to open my big old mouth and force my way through and just push them out the way so I can get what I want, that's what I'm gonna do, right? And I did. I used to do it. And I used to think I was right, because I used to do it so respectably. Excuse me, thinking I'm doing it respectable, but that was a little aggressive, right? I mean, just imagine you in the store shopping and you trying to you at this one aisle, and you trying to figure something out with your money. You trying to compare prices. Is this the day I'm gonna get this? I ain't coming here to be in a rush. I came in here to sightsee anyway. A lot of people does that. Just imagine you out and somebody coming behind you. They gotta go in the same spot as you. They just disregard what you over here doing. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. That sounds a little abrupt, right? So to talk about that, that's crazy. God just convicted me of that. So our power can be used in different elements. Let's think about all the good that our power can be used for. To help one another, help someone in need that is in need, not using it for bad. Because you have some people, they take their power and they turn it into a sign of manipulation. They study you. They study a situation. They study people. The lines are open, you guys. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. And today we're talking about the different elements of power. Maybe you were in a situation this week to where you had a choice. You could have did this or you could have did that. That's power that God put in our hands, to have a choice to choose to do something good or do something bad. And sometimes both options don't have to be bad. It could be to do something good or do something better. Stand still or go. But with power, I also want us to know that if we use our power for bad, we never win. We temporarily hurt hurt people. We temporarily hurt people because if that person is coming from, ever heard a saying say, be careful who you hurt, or I guess manipulate or pick with, or things like that in that manner. So we have to be careful when it comes to the elements of power. And I'm talking about this because we live every day. We have a chance every day to use this power. I mean, every second, from the time the phone rings, from the time you go to work, from the time you wake up, to from the time you wake up and open your eyes, you have the power to make a choice. Do I want to wake up and start my day, or do I just want to lay here? It's a choice, but it's a choice of power, right? And we have to choose where we're pulling our source of power from. And I want my source to come from the Holy Spirit. That's the only power I want. I don't know about you, but that's the only power I want. I want my source of power to come from the Holy Spirit. But again, I'm talking about this because it's something critical in our life. And if we don't understand it, if it's not shared, if it's not spoken upon, we just think we're just living in some state of aspect. We just think we're living. And whatever comes to me that I feel like needs to be shared, I want to share it with you guys. The lines are open, you guys. 678-381-1973. I think I was trying to hit on the fact of how we could catch ourselves in situations with people, or we could be the people, to where we use our power on the bad side to manipulate people. And I'm finna get into why it's critical to know. It's always good to know the good, but you always want to know the bad, because that's where the damage come in at. We're not out to damage people, right? We're in a whole world with a whole bunch of different varieties of humans, right? Even animals. Should we have the power to? We can't leave out animals neither. Trees, even how we grow stuff. We got the power. But if we don't be careful and we don't use our power right, we damage people. We're not in a damaging people business. I know I'm not. And if you are a person that wants to be in a damaging people business, then I would just, offer that you seek some prayer, spend some time alone, so that some type of different light can be shed upon you. I think about relationships. I don't know why this one is leading me to relationships between, and I'm talking about a lovable relationship between a guy and a female. And it's not all just guys, women. We have power under our hands, and we use it to manipulate the person, the system. We become selfish with our power. Because I got the power, I'm strong. I know how to look at this situation. Oh, this situation can be beneficial to me temporarily. So what can I go in here and analyze so I can get my strategy together of how I'm finna use this level of power to get what I want. Not 1 second, whether it's me or the other person that's doing it, whether it's the woman or the male, you forget about the damage that could in the long run cause that person. I think we all have been there, right? We've all have been there. What do you do? What do you do? First of all, you got to seek God. That's number one. And number two, you have to remember, in the Bible, it says, love thy neighbor as thou shalt love thyself. So if you're a person out here that's you want to use your power to manipulate people to get what you want, not thinking about what it may cause other people, I somehow, some way just see that as a form of lacking self-care as well. because we have the power over our own body, our own mind. Not physical now, okay? I need you to understand, not physical. We have the power in our hands through the Holy Spirit, okay? So still yet, God gave us the power through the Holy Spirit. Of course, we get more power when we read his word, when we get in tune with his word, we get more power. But we have the ultimate power in our hands, right? Um, and if it's just not that we have the power to help people, we have the power to where we can hurt people and not think about it. Let's use that power to be better, to our surrounding fellow family mate. And I'm gonna stick to mate because that's where I was going with this. And I use this because I've been in a situation like this. I've seen situations like this to where the female come in. And I'm gonna say female first because a lot of times we shed light on the men. It goes both ways. I'm gonna do what I can to get what I want out this relationship and not think about the damage that I'm dragging this person in, or and just careless about it, just reckless, about it. And that's just not fair. That's not fair to people, and it's not fair to yourself, because even though we could be the one that using power for bad, and it damaged the other person. Mind you, God always says he's not gonna put more on us than we can bear. So if you're that person that thinking, oh my God, the other person is using their power to destroy me or whatever, and you're that other person, just always remember, God is not gonna put more on you than you can bear. But also, if you're the person that actually has the power of manipulating other people, I want you to know that you're hurting yourself as well too. It is only a trick of the enemy. It's only a trick of the devil, because he's out to steal, kill, and destroy. That's his power, and he got it good and strong. He know how to come in. He know how to find our weaknesses, our strengths. He know what to use. He know how to use it. The lines are open, you guys. 678-381-1973. Today is it's not that messy today with the weather. We've been getting a lot of rain here in middle Georgia. So it's a cozy day today. But back to power. The devil knows how to, his only job is to steal, kill, and destroy. So if you're the person, or I had to tell myself when I once knew I had certain type of powers to get what I wanted, right? Because that was me. I've been there before. Had little sneaky ways in me, I knew the right type of words to say to get what I wanted, or to get close to what I wanted. I also knew I had the power to uplift or bring someone down, right? I had a choice to make. But at the time, I was making the choice of using my power, thinking I was winning because I had that power and I could sit back and watch how it made the other person feel. And then I would somehow be enjoying victory, about it. Of course, I try to share a few things about me, in my past, my thing was tit for tat. I never wanted to be the one to do anything to anyone first, because I always understood one thing, if you want good, you got to get good, right? But so I used that in a whole different realm. That was me having that level of power. I use that in a whole different realm. Okay, if you want good, you got to do good. So when I came in contact with people, that was always my first goal. Okay, I'm coming in contact with people. I just want to do right by this person. I didn't have no power of understanding in me to understand that, well, if this person hurt me, to just forgive them. You don't have to fight back. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do the tit for tat. I didn't have that understanding, but I understand the concept of do good for good. I understand that I had that power. If I do good, I'm going to receive good. but I didn't have the power of understanding to understand that, okay, T, if you're doing good by a person and they somehow do something to you, then let's have the power of wisdom now, right? The power of wisdom and fear I didn't have was supposed to kick in, because the wisdom is to know that nobody is perfect. God went and died on the cross for all of us, and before he died, he said, God, forgive them before they know not what they do. So I want to give this to somebody, right? To somebody, because I know, I know I've been there. The old T was the tit for tat T. I come in with good intentions, because that's all I wanted. I want the good intentions, right? But as soon as somebody did something, it could be 0.5% of any type of harm, hurt, danger to me. Guess what I would do back? I ain't gonna do your little 0.5% that you gave me, because now I'm hurt. Because if you only knew from the beginning, I came in with good, right? Because I feel like I feel like I got the power. If I control my mind, right, my mind and everything, right, then I mean I'm gonna get good. But I didn't see it that way. You done hurt me. I don't know how to handle it. Let's be honest. I didn't know how to handle hurt, which a lot of us, nowadays, that is a big problem. But even in the mix of hurt, you guys, we still have the power. We have a choice. Like I was saying before earlier, we have power of choice, right? From the time we wake up in the morning till we end our day, right? We even can control how we sleep, right? I can get a little deeper. We can control how we sleep, because we can control what we think about and indulge in before we go to sleep. So if we have the power of choice, then back then, that's something I just wish I had, y'all. I wish I did. But you know what? I'm thankful, because God allowed me to go through things of such to get me to where I am, of this understanding, because I didn't have this understanding back then. If only I did. Only thing I knew, it wasn't understanding. Something I knew was, I know if you do bad, you get bad. You can't expect bad from good. So I mean, I gotta do good if I want good. I always knew I wanted good, so I gotta do good. You have to be first, right? So like I tell you guys, I was only hurting myself. We're only hurting ourselves if we think like that. It's called revenge. We want to get revenge so bad. But that's one power that we don't have, that we can't do. That's why you also need the power of fear. Because if you got the power of fear, the lines are open, you guys, 678-381-1973. So it's critical to have the power of fear as well too, because you gotta fear what'll happen if you don't do right. God is the only person. This is the only set of power that he does not give us, that he's not going to give us, of revenge. It's never our place. It's never our place. That's God's job, right? So I just want I just want to share this light on this, because we all know, if you got the power to be in a good position, I would hope that if you're in a power of good position, do good. Okay, if you're in a position to give good, share good, share light. Let's each one reach one. They got this each one teach one. I like the each one reach one, right? I just had to share this with you guys, because I know how it can be. We get wronged, we get done wrong, and we think we don't have no power if we don't do nothing about it. We think we do have the power to get back at those on our own terms. No. But what we do have the power to do is to understand that nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. And as long as you in your daily walk, as I always talk about prayer, as long as you stay in tune with Jesus Christ himself, with our Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, no matter what we go through in the mix of being wrong, God will rectify that situation better than we ever thought we could. Right? Because guess what? I said back then, I didn't have the understanding. I didn't have the wisdom, the fear, the power of fear, the power of understanding, the power of will. I didn't have it back then. I just understood a term, something I was taught, which I was taught something good, but I didn't understand the power behind it, right? I didn't understand so many things that was going to come behind it. So um and that was a big thing in my life, because the only thing I knew was I wanted to be good, right? But I never understood what it took to be good, right? Because good people really have to go through things. I took a lot of matters and things into my own hands because I didn't have the understanding of power. We don't, and that's something nowadays, we don't understand, because people think about power. Like, people even think about, a show I'm catching up on. The first thing I say is, oh, the show Power. Okay, number one, in the United States, they'll think about that. Or number two, they'll think about power in a way of just having power, like what it say, like the president, he has power of the United States, right? They think about the power of but they don't think about the power that they have to levitate and get through life, and understanding power would make our lives so much better. We wouldn't go through so much. We're going to go through things, but I don't think we would go through so much. We wouldn't go through things as long. It wouldn't be as drawn out, because that's what messed my life up, because I didn't have the full understanding of power, right? The wisdom, understanding, the fear, the might, I didn't understand none of that. So I began to just keep that saying, as long as I do good, I do good. But I also thought it was my place to, as soon as somebody do something wrong to me, I don't care if it's 0.5%, you guys, T had to get back 100 or probably 1,005% back. And I know I'm not the only one, right? I know I'm not the only one, because it seems right. Who wants to be hurt? I done been so good. I'm trying here, Lord. This is what I want, because you got some people that's out here living a rough, bad life. And that's really not what they want to do. They're just fitting in with the life, fitting in with people, just fitting in. We're not supposed to fit in with the world. God said, put away worldly things. He said that, be set apart from the world. He says that, right? So that was me. I always knew I wanted good, but I began to feel worthless. I felt like I didn't have any power. I didn't know about power back then. Well, what I knew about power, it wasn't taught to me. It was not from a spiritual realm. It wasn't taught to me. Earthly wise, power is being taught earthly wise all over. You can go on the TV and find that. But from a spiritual realm, it's not talked about as much, because people think they're supposed to come to God and God is supposed to do all the work. No, he's going to do his part. He's going to do his job. But he gives us the same power that he has to lean on his understanding, because we have to do the work, for our own lives, right? Because if we don't, if he just did everything for us, then we would just be doomed. We wouldn't have no courage. We wouldn't have no strength. We'll just do whatever and just run to God, as during my time I would do. I would just know, my grandmother raised me, she's the evangelist. She raised me. So I always knew that God was the person. If I ever had a problem, that's really who I need to seek through for a more spiritual, natural insight. So growing up in my days, I would be out there doing my dirt. And, I would be out there doing my dirt, but, I would always call grandma in the middle of the night. Okay, y'all, we have about 15 minutes left. If anyone still wants to try to call in, the line is 678-381-1973. But even back in my days, and I'm out there doing my badge, called grandma in the middle of the night, and grandma always kept me covered in her prayers. And do you know, but that was a power she had too. But I used her power that she had, that God gave her, right? That was covering me. I used her power as an excuse for when I did do things. Okay. So I'm coming in as I want good. So I'm gonna do good. Okay, but hold on real quick. Now I don't know how to handle when somebody do something to me, right? I don't know how to handle it. Or I didn't know how to handle when someone did something to me. So instead, I'm lacking knowledge, understanding and knowledge. So I take matters into my own hands, not fearing the Lord, not knowing that's not my place, right? And guess what my excuse was? Because grandma prayers kept me covered. I always used to say, I'm covered, which I still was covered. But you know that rod and that staff, they come from me. So that rod is a whooping, right? That rod is a whipping. So God always whipped me with that rod because I was covered, but he also had to snatch me back. You get what I'm saying? He had to snatch me back to reality. Right. And he did that. But I remember, like, it's so exciting. It gives me chills. You know, I was doing bad, but just to know that I really was covered in the mix of my bed. Oh my God. That was power that he gave my grandmother over my life. So now just imagine the power that we can have, that God can give us, the power over somebody else's life, right? So look, if someone is doing you wrong, you don't have to get back. You don't have to be vindictive. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to do any of that, right? Just understand that God gave you the power to turn any situation around, to speak whatever you want done. Because see, God is going to give us what we need and what's for us, right? He also is not going, sometimes he's not going to give it to us when we want it, but he'll give it to us right on time, right? But as long as we have that simple mustard seed of faith, right? As long as we carry all of that out, then when someone does something wrong to us, just because we have that temporary, because soon as you do something to get back to that person, that power is only temporarily. Because guess what? That problem could occur again. If you don't handle it the right way, the spiritual way, if you don't handle it the right way, that problem is going to continue to reoccur. It's going to continue to reoccur. So basically, your power is weak because you're using it off your own understanding. No, I want us all to learn to lean on God for our power, right? Because he's going to give us what we need: understanding, wisdom, fear, might, knowledge. We need all of that. Someone do something to you, now you know what I do. Oh, y'all, God is amazing. Let me tell you what I do now. Someone could I could see it coming. I ain't gonna say I'm so good because I got so much to work on. This is just where I have came from. I had to get out of what tore my life apart, tit for tat, because I didn't have the understanding of spirituality. Tit for tat was a power that I had from the earthly form, right? Because earthly form, that's okay. Earthly form, girl, they did something. You better get them back, girl. Don't take that. No, you better get them back. I'm telling you, honey. Show them. No, I did, but I end up being hurt every time I did. I end up getting hurt, being sunk away some way. And now they looking at me like I'm crazy. Nobody don't understand why I did what I did. They don't want to hear what that person did first. Nah, because I took it too far, because I was so hurt I couldn't even handle it. I couldn't go to the person that could have helped me and got me, right? I want to help someone today. We know about the earthly spirit, but do we know about we know about earthly power, right? Earthly power. That should have been my topic: earthly power versus spiritual power. But we all know about earthly power. But what about spiritual power, right? I want us to take time every day to focus on just praying for God to guide us and the power that he has set in us. Now God he got all the power, right? And if we got the same thing that we got, then you want to reach out and tune to him first so that he can guide you. Um, People always say, you make it sound so easy or so simple. It's all from living and learning. I'm so thankful today that I understand this now. I wish at times I would have understood it back then, because I could have avoided hurting a lot of people. Number one, hurting myself, right? Because I always tell people I don't want to be selfish, but I also want to work on selfless, right? So that I can have the power to reach people, so I can have the power to help people. That's what power is all about. Why have power to do bad? You don't need power to do that. You don't need power to do bad and destroy somebody's life. If that's what you want to do, then just do it. Right? Don't use that as power. That's just plain out manipulation, and they got the words narcissism and things like that. But we're not gonna focus on that. We're gonna focus on spirituality, the power of the spiritual form. We're gonna focus on that. Let's help one another. And stop hurting ourselves. Let's love one another. Let's take away hate out of that heart. Right? Let's use our power to strengthen each other. Every day we live a life where we come around. Every day we have an opportunity to be around, encounters in the world and with people and stuff. Do I hear someone? Is there someone on the line? Hello? Okay, I thought I heard something. I'm sorry, you guys. So, as I was saying, y'all, we're getting so close now, and this was good. I needed this, and I just, hope this can just help someone, help everyone, because this is something that we all need here. We got to remember, we don't want to hurt ourselves, because you don't want to use your power to do bad. You don't even need power for that. First of all, you can just go and do that freely, right? But that's still a sense of power too. But I don't want that power. We don't want that power, right? Because we hurt ourselves, and we can't be good to nobody if we're not good to ourselves. It's impossible. I want everybody to take a task, in a situation, to where any situation that comes up, if you don't have nothing else to say, just under your breath, if you know that if I say one wrong word, this can escalate more into bad, let's choose silence sometimes, right? I want us to choose silence. And even if you don't have a prayer to say to God what you want done right there in a second, let's just say Jesus. And I've fallen asleep so many times, hurt and filled with pain, and all I had to do was just say Jesus repeatedly, and before I knew it, I woke up the next morning. We're talking about 8-9 hours went by. This is the power of just closing your mind and vanishing off to him, with him, and you give everything to him the same way we're talking, and you can watch it work. Because I think I was actually about to try to give y'all a semi example, to where this is what I'm doing in my life right now. And it's working, you guys. It is working. I am living proof. It be looking like, it be looking like the old days. Somebody playing you, T. They doing something to you. They ain't right, T. They playing you, ain't right. The old me, y'all know, I get back, right? I be funny. I can do what you do too. No, that's not how it's supposed to go. God, I'm going to come to you first, because if they're not right, remove them. Point blank, period. But what I do understand is one thing you said before your last word, you said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That is the power. He gave us that same power. Somebody do something to us, let's forgive them. Let's have the power to forgive. forget and pray for whatever we want for that person, right? So this go back to this what my grandma did to me. This why I was covered. She never judged me. I mean, she knew my stuff and my crap and my mess, but she never judged me. She always covered me in prayer. It wasn't for her to understand. It was for her to, all she understood was she needed to pray for me. She needed to cover me. Whatever it is that she wanted God to do in my life, she took it to him and she watched it work. I remember we got about 4 minutes left. If anyone just want to join in for anything small, 678-381-1973. But I remember one time I had got arrested and I called my grandmother. And she told me after all those years, she said, God has something big for you. He has something planned for you. Now, this is when my life had already began to navigate, drifting away from all the other stuff I was dwelling in. But before my life was trying to navigate from the bad to the good, before it was trying to, she loved me. For her to say those words to me, she understood that forgive T, for she don't know what she do. But whatever it is from your will, God, for her, because God don't want bad for none of us. Now, some people are just knuckleheads and God deal with knuckleheads. Some people are just knuckleheads and God to deal with them. But he never just blatantly just want bad for us. No, for all of us, he want good. He want greatness for us. So let's use our power. We know about earthly power. Let's get in tune with our spiritual power. Someone could be wronging you. You sit there and you pray, God, I want their anger to calm down. Can you shed light on them being unangered so much, not so easily angered? God, help them to see what it is that you need for them to see, for them first, so that they can be better to me. It's simple. We can come to God as easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. He already know what we're going through. He already know. He has all the power in his hands. Why not go to the one person that can give us the same power that he got, so that while we on this earth, we can share life of the spirit, right? We have that power. Come on, you guys. Let's come together on this. Let's get an agreement. This is critical in each and every one of our lives, and it will be beneficial. Each one reach one. Each one reach one. We have about a minute left. I just want to tell you guys, I love you. I want everyone to have a blessed, abundant, prosperous week. Use the power in your hands that God gave you. Use those powers. Lean on him. Trust in him. And of all, fear him, right? Fear him. Because if we fear him, just like mom and daddy used to be scared to get our little butt spanked if we did something bad in the day, it's the same thing. We should be afraid to do wrong. Use our power. Let's use the power that God gave us for good. He didn't give us that power to use it to destroy others, destroy ourselves. That ain't what he gave it for, because just as fast as he gave it to us, he can take it back. That's another conversation, but God can take, he has that power. He's the only one. I love you guys. Today was great. If you're in Middle Georgia, enjoy the weather, cuddle up, cozy up, whatever we like to do, get some soup. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Again, this is Tea Talks. Today, earthly power versus spiritual power. Which one are you going to choose? Which one are you going to choose? I love you guys. Stay prayed up. God loves you. I love you. Y'all have a blessed week.